Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're cutting through the noise today, really aiming to give you the strategic insights you need.
That's the plan.
Our focus is a, let's say, high-speed journey into the absolute cutting edge of the grocery and CPG, that's consumer packaged goods industries.
Yep. Lots to cover there.
Our mission today is basically to distill the biggest, most impactful AI trends that defined Groceryshop 2025 out in Las Vegas.
It was quite the event.
We've got a good stack of sources here covering conversations not just with, the global giants like PepsiCo, Diageo, Woolworths,
The big names, yeah.
but also those high-impact startups, the ones actually building the infrastructure for all this.
And that's crucial. What's immediately clear from looking through all that material is that the conversation itself has fundamentally shifted.
How so?
Well, this isn't really a future of retail chat anymore. It feels like the future is kind of here.
Right.
The question isn't whether AI is coming, it's really how fast can you implement it.
Okay.
It's definitely transitioned from being maybe a nice-to-have experiment, side project.
Exactly, a side project to being the unavoidable operational fabric of the business. It's foundational now.
And you mentioned the shift is global.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, big North American or European retailers dominating the discussions.
Okay.
We saw groups like Automercado, a major grocer from Costa Rica,
Interesting.
actively seeking AI solutions specifically for things like supply chain resilience, which is obviously huge in more volatile markets.
Makes sense.
And similarly, global brands were really zeroing in on personalization. Think about European coffee brands, maybe like Illy's, exploring AI to tailor that customer experience almost instantly.
So the pressure to adopt is everywhere.
It really feels like a universal mandate now, yeah.
Okay, let's unpack that urgency then. Let's dive into the three biggest interconnected themes that seem to dominate the event.
Sounds good. The first trend feels like maybe the most fundamental shift in operations. Moving AI from just predicting things to actually doing things. Hashtag 1. Agentic AI becomes the operating system of grocery. We're calling this the rise of agentic AI, essentially becoming the operating system of grocery.
That's a good way to put it.
We've gotten pretty comfortable with AI predicting demand or forecasting sales, maybe predicting churn.
Standard stuff now, almost.
Right. But now we're talking about AI agents that are specifically trained to act autonomously, to manage entire workflows.
And to truly become the underlying architecture of, day-to-day operations.
So less like a single AI making a suggestion.
Exactly. Think of it more like a team of specialized digital employees, if you will. They don't just flag a problem, they're empowered to actually fix it.
Right.
And this autonomous backbone, it's now running pretty mature business processes across the whole value chain. But the key is it's doing it with real-time agility.
Can you give some examples? Where is this actually happening?
Sure. For instance, these agents are now fully handling forecasting and replenishment, adjusting order quantities minute by minute based on all sorts of changing variables.
Wow, minute by minute.
Yeah. And they're powering dynamic pricing strategies, too, constantly balancing those promotional goals with the need for margin protection, especially, in these high inflation times.
That's a tough balancing act.
It really is. And maybe more visibly for people in stores, they're becoming crucial for shelf execution.
How so?
Automating things like planogram compliance checks, spotting out of stocks instantly, even helping with loss prevention through real-time anomaly detection.
That sounds incredibly powerful. But it also raises questions, right, about human oversight.
Definitely.
I mean, if AI is autonomously setting prices and managing stock levels, how much risk are retailers comfortable delegating?
That's absolutely the tension point. And it's probably why these agents are often built to be highly specialized, but also conversational.
Conversational, how does that work?
Well, take Omnistream, for example. They're using agentic AI to power conversational interfaces right there on the store floor.
Okay.
So instead of a manager waiting for some static report, they can literally just ask the system, hey, should I adjust the planogram for that new PepsiCo drink based on the last hour's sales velocity?
And the AI answers.
It answers, and it can even initiate the required adjustment right then and there.
So it's making the autonomous decision-making accessible, understandable to the human team.
Precisely. Keep the human in the loop, but automate the legwork. And that same idea, it extends right into, the complex back office stuff too.
Like what?
Companies like Simple Contract were showing off multi-agentic contract lifecycle management.
Okay, that sounds complicated.
It is. But these agents, they handle the really meticulous work. extracting clauses, running legal compliance checks, even making renewal recommendations, and they do it all without direct human intervention.
Which must save a huge amount of time.
Oh, countless hours for procurement teams, not to mention drastically reducing liability from missed details.
Okay, so the bottom line on agentic AI seems to be it's making that whole grocery value chain smarter, more conversational, and genuinely autonomous.
Yeah, that sums it up. The competitive edge now really goes to the retailer who can delegate the smartest and, frankly, the fastest. Hashtag 2, AI-driven discovery and the rise of semantic commerce.
Right, that sets us up perfectly for the second major trend we saw. If the operations side is becoming autonomous.
What happens to the customer side?
Exactly. What happens when the customer journey itself starts becoming autonomous? Or at least AI-driven?
A huge question.
We saw some big news around this during the event, didn't we? Discussions about OpenAI possibly moving into commerce.
Yeah, that certainly underscored this whole shift in how product discovery is being completely reshaped by AI.
So what's the core change here?
Well, what's fascinating, I think, is where the shopping journey actually begins. It's moving away from the retailer's website, away from the category menus, or even the static search bar.
Where's it starting then?
Increasingly, shoppers are starting inside conversational AI interfaces, whether that's ChatGPT, Gemini, or maybe future retailer-owned agents.
Okay, I see.
And consumers are now demanding much more contextual, natural language recommendations. They don't just type gluten-free pasta anymore.
Right. They ask a real question.
Exactly. They might say something like, hey, I need dinner ideas for my family, low carb, gluten-free, family of 4, needs to be ready in 20 minutes.
And the AI needs to understand all that context.
Precisely. That kind of conversational intent requires a completely new level of, let's say, data understanding from the retailer side.
And the business implication here feels massive.
Oh, it is.
If these AI assistants become the main way people discover products, then traditional search engine optimization, SEO, well...
It starts looking pretty obsolete, doesn't it?
Yeah. We heard some retailers are already seeing a growing share of their digital traffic coming from these conversational AI tools, not just traditional Google search.
Right. And this creates the necessity for a whole new discipline. People are starting to call it generative engine optimization.
GEO instead of SEO.
Exactly, GEO. And it's really the art and science of structuring your product data so these AI agents can not only find it, but actually understand it.
Understand it enough to recommend it confidently.
Yes, based on that highly specific natural language intent we talked about.
So how is GEO fundamentally different from, the old days of keyword stuffing for SEO?
That's a great question. Traditional SEO, it really cared about the words you used, right? The keywords. GEO cares more about the meaning behind the words, the semantics.
Okay.
Think about talking to your smart speaker at home. It doesn't need 5 specific keywords to figure out you want a low-sodium snack. It understands the intent of low sodium.
Right.
So companies like Harmonia, they're focused on the semantic enrichment, dynamically contextualizing product attributes, making sure that product data speaks the language of these generative AI models.
And the practical application then becomes this incredible personalization.
Exactly. Look at Sifter. They're a perfect example. They allow shoppers to filter products using dozens of really specific health, nutrition, lifestyle attributes.
Like nut-free or vegan or
low FODM or keto-friendly. It bridges that gap between static product data and truly individualized needs, makes it easy for an AI concierge to pick the right product for you.
an AI concierge. Are we actually seeing that?
We are. We even saw the emergence of, well, essentially fully autonomous shopping agents.
Right.
Platforms like ProfitMind and Vortex IQ.
What do they do?
They basically act as your personal shopping concierge. They could potentially negotiate prices, manage your loyalty points, make purchases on your behalf, all based on your profile.
Wow.
And semantic commerce, having that rich, understandable data, is the absolute foundation that enables that level of trust and automation.
Okay, so the key takeaway here is really clear. If you want your products to be discovered in this new era,
your product data needs to be structured for context, for meaning, not just keywords.
your success is basically tied directly to how well your data can speak AI's language now.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, let's move to the third and final big trend, the evolution of retail media.
Always a hot topic.
Definitely. But it feels like it's moving beyond just, selling digital shelf space or banner ads on a website.
Oh, absolutely. It's becoming much more about monetizing customer insights, purchase intent, and that incredibly valuable first-party audience data that retailers possess.
And AI is the engine driving this.
It's the key enabler. AI is what transforms retail media from, frankly, often a blunt instrument.
Yeah, sometimes feels like shouting into the void.
Right, into a genuine precision marketing ecosystem.
How does AI achieve that precision?
Through several things. Hyper-personalized targeting, for one. Predictive attribution, actually figuring out what's working. And crucially, closed-loop optimization that measures the actual incremental lift of the ad spend.
Okay, closed loop, meaning connecting the ad to the actual sale.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating here is this convergence we're seeing. It's where operations, commerce intelligence, and marketing intelligence all start to merge. AI allows the retailer to orchestrate campaigns that are not just targeted, but also context-aware and, importantly, profit-driven.
What do you mean by context aware in this case?
Well, for example, ensuring you only run an ad for a specific ice cream flavor in a region where you know the inventory is fully stocked and the supply chain can support the demand generated by the ad.
Got it. So it's not just about finding the right eyeball anymore.
Nope.
It's about making sure that the promise of the ad can actually be fulfilled and fulfilled profitably.
Fulfillment is absolutely everything, and we saw several examples of different AI tools integrating to actually close this loop.
Like what?
Companies like Footprints.ai, for instance, they help retailers map those complex customer journeys across all channels, connecting in-store visits, online browsing, app usage, media consumption.
You get the whole picture.
You get the whole picture. And that's crucial for truly understanding audience activation and measuring the real return on ad spend, the ROAS.
And the personalization aspect comes back here too, right?
Absolutely. Sifter, who we mentioned in the semantic commerce piece.
Right, with the health attributes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They add that critical layer here too, enabling ad targeting based on deep nutrition and lifestyle data. We're moving way beyond simple demographics like age and location.
Towards true relevance.
True relevance. If you tell your system you're looking for low FODMAP ingredients, the ads you see should reflect that specific dietary need. It makes the advertising useful, not just intrusive.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
And then, tying it all back to that fulfillment piece, we saw groups like Whitestry. Their focus is ensuring that the campaign promise is actually backed by operational reality.
Making sure the product is on the shelf.
Making sure these hyper-targeted retail media campaigns are supported by real-time product availability and supply chain precision. If the AI targets an ad to a very specific customer segment,
The operational side has to guarantee fulfillment when that customer actually shows up or clicks buy.
precisely. It's intelligent monetization, but it has to span the entire retail value chain to work. Hashtag tag outro air.
Wow. Okay, so let's try and synthesize this. What does this all mean for you, the listener, the learner?
Well, I think if Groceryshop 2025 proved anything, it's that this AI integration, it's happening at machine speed. It's incredibly fast.
Yeah, it doesn't feel gradual anymore.
Not at all. This isn't just, another tech upgrade cycle. It really feels like the fundamental foundation for the future of grocery and CPG.
So the strategic question then, for every retailer, every CPG brand, every tech provider listening,
It's no longer if they need things like agentic AI solutions or if they need to think about generative engine optimization.
the question is how fast?
Exactly. How fast can you embed these concepts into literally every single layer of the business, from back office contract management right through to the digital shelf and the customer interaction?
Okay, that leaves us with maybe a final thought for everyone to mull over.
Right.
If conversational AI is, as we discussed, rapidly becoming the dominant way people discover products,
Which it seems to be.
and if generative engine optimization, GEO, is truly the new SEO, how quickly will brands be forced to shift their entire digital acquisition budgets, moving away from traditional keyword advertising on search engines?
And focusing almost solely on structuring their product data for these generative models.
Yeah. I mean, is that where we're heading?
Gee.
A complete rewrite of digital marketing as we've known it for the past 20 years.
It certainly feels like a possibility, maybe even a probability. Something definitely worth thinking about as you plan for the future of commerce.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for walking us through that.
My pleasure.